Okay, so are we on? Okay, so will you check everything and make sure everything's good? You're just staring at it. Can you? Yeah. Everything good? Oh, I'm gonna stab you. Ooh, I look like a drowned rat. Just got out of the shower. Fun day, Monday. Today is our day to just enjoy life. We are so busy all the rest of the time. So, you know you can't really, are you gonna do this video for me? Come on, man. Are you gonna do this video for me?
Yes.
I guess I could have put on a little makeup. I still am wearing my pajama pants, and I did change my shirt for y'all because the shirt that I had holes and stuff, and
I have to
really
stand back here to look
pretty.
the same size as you. No, go back up.
Wait a minute.
Go back up.
Is that a fat joke?
No, I mean because my head is so large, and when I walk up here, I disappear.
That's all right. No big deal. Okay,
All right.
so we got it this morning, and the thing that we always do is, like, there's nothing ever to eat in our house at the end of the week. So we wake up in the morning, and I'm just like, oh, something would be so good to eat right now. So you'd think that we would learn by now to have something for Monday mornings because we're always sleeping in and always wanting. We did have coffee this morning. We did have coffee. But coffee on an empty stomach for me is not cool. Anyway, so texting with my friend, and she said, I'm going to get up and make some boiled eggs. And I was like, aha, we do have eggs. So I had this great idea because I love eggs and I'm sick and tired of eating them medium and all that. And boiled eggs sounded really good. But what I thought I would do is just take a minute to boil some eggs and show you guys like 3 different ways to make deviled eggs really healthy. And y'all know that I've been on this health and wellness journey for the last 2 years. And I love our company and the new systems that they have with the new recipes. But what I like to do is shift things around and move them. Yeah. So I have learned to take our meal plans, which really and truly are what anybody should be using if they're doing low carb, and kind of move some things around to make more interesting foods and snacks. So instead of just having a boiled egg as a snack, I wanted to show y'all how to take some of the other elements of the way that we should be eating healthy and low carb with like the healthy fats and the proteins and stuff and kind of combine those. So right now, this is not about me anymore. I just want you to, and y'all understand, I don't have the best like movie kitchen set up or, you know, TV kitchen set up, but so I have this one little area here. So we're just going to kind of
This is just real
dial
life.
it down. This is real life
Real
here.
life.
And again, I just got out of the shower, so I look like a drowned rat. But we're going to show y'all what we've got here. And I don't have the fancy, cute, clear bowls with everything in it, but I'm going to show you. So what I have here is, of course, I got up and I boiled some eggs. And you can see that's what I have here. Jason helped me boil them, and I think we didn't boil them quite enough, but that's okay. Because it's dry enough that we can scoop these out. So basically, I've already cut some. I've just got my little paring knife here. It's just easiest to use a little knife than a big old honking knife. So I'm going to cut these in half. And as you can see, again, what we're doing is we're making deviled eggs. If you guys grew up in the South or have somebody, a grandma from the South, y'all know what deviled eggs are, okay? We all love us some deviled eggs. So what I'm going to do is, whoops, let me pull it out of here. I'm just going to take a moment. I'm just going to pop these little yellows out, and they should just pop out on their own. I've got a spoon here just in case. Sometimes they get a little stuck in there. But you want to clean out those little yellows. Try to get all of that out. Oh yeah, I'm a little OCD about this. What I'll probably do, because as you can see, there's still some yellow in these. I'll probably wash these out and just stick them on a paper towel and let them dry. But for now, what we're going to do is we've got all the yellows and we're going to put that in a bowl together, okay? So for those of you who are eating healthy, I'm going to show you a nice little condiment that you can use. Just kind of take the back of your fork or spoon and just we're going to squash those up. You can see that it's still nice and dry, even though we undercooked them just a tad. That's no big deal. I first originally thought, ooh, let's have soft-boiled eggs. But then I was like, ooh, but then we can have fun and make a few different things. So basically, that's what you're looking for. So I am going to show y'all a really nice condiment that is nice for us when we are working on low carb and low fat. This would not necessarily be for keto. If you were doing keto, you might want to actually use some olive oil based mayonnaise. But since we are not, we're trying to stay away. This has 0 fat. I'm doing low carb. I try to, keep an eye on my fat. So I really don't have measurements right now because this is kind of off the cuff, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that in there until I feel this has a nice consistency for like what deviled eggs should be. Creamy. They should be creamy and fluffy. Y'all see how this is kind of getting fluffy. Not quite enough, so let me get a little bit more in here. I'd say that was probably a total of 4 tablespoons. I have, but as you can see, look how nice and fluffy this is. This is like yumness in a bowl. And see how nice and feathery, and gosh, it just looks so good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this and because I'm making 3 different kinds, and I'm just going to plop some in each bowl, and I'm going to give y'all an idea of 3 different kinds of boiled eggs to do. All right? Excuse me, of deviled eggs to do. So I've got all this, and you can see I've kind of divvied it up pretty equal. Okay, so hold on to that, wash my hands. Okay, all right, so, hey Jay, can you come help me by rinsing these out? Because while I'm mixing all of these and showing them a new way of doing it, I can have some nice clean eggs. So just overlook the water, don't listen to the water. Okay, so what I also have here is actually a few different things. These actually were leftovers for me from earlier in the week. What I do want to mention is, in light of trying to do some healthy meal prepping for the week, what I like to do is I like to have like my staples that are always on hand that I use in almost every recipe. That would be onions, purple onions, yellow onions, whatever you use. My cilantro, my green onions, these types of things. I like to have those prepped, chopped, and ready in the refrigerator so that if I am making a recipe off the cuff like this one, that's already cuts down half of, I guess, the workload for me. I know that deviled eggs are mostly a southern thing, and a lot of people take them to picnics, Easter, all that jazz, which is all fine and good, but you know what? The truth of it is, I love having ready-made boiled eggs in my refrigerator all the time. And guys, come on, don't fall for buying the deviled eggs in the grocery store already cooked. I mean, if you really don't know how to cook a boiled egg, then that's fine, but cost so much more money, and they actually taste like rubber. Okay, so let me get to what I was sharing with you. So what I have here is I actually have a few different items left over from lunch in the last few days. So one thing that I have is this it's becoming so popular. Cauliflower is so popular these days. So I actually have a little leftover cauliflower or buffalo cauliflower. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to chop that up, and we're going to use that as one of our fillers. Now you can't probably see this really, really well, but I actually have celery in here, and I don't have any fresh celery today. If I did, I would definitely put it in these eggs. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to chop this down and make it pretty small. We don't want like big, huge chunks of cauliflower in there. But what we want to do is just add a little pizzazz to these eggs. And I might not even need all of them, but we'll see, maybe about half. So basically, I just took a little bit of my leftover cauliflower. I'm going to add... This was already in my cauliflower, and you can pick whatever dressing you want to, but the important thing is for those of us who are doing low carb, I don't know if you can see this, I always look for very low carb to no carb. So this has 1 carb per tablespoon. So, and honestly, this probably, what I have here only has maybe a teaspoon, and I'm going to probably just put another teaspoon on there. And then I'm going to taste it, of course, to see if I think it's good enough. I'm going to just take that and I'm just going to stir it all up. gonna make that egg mixture that I already have even creamier. And because I love green onion, I'm actually gonna add, I had a little bit of that left over as well. I'm gonna add a little bit of green onion to it because, I mean, you've got this beautiful, you know, orange color. It needs some pops of something fresh looking in there. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of this green onion. But I am gonna chop it up a little bit finer because I've got some picky eaters, or one picky eater, who doesn't like a whole lot of onion, but if I can kind of slide it in. So that, you can see, is about 2 tablespoons of green onion. And really, all of this is just, do it to your liking. I'm gonna put this back in there. I don't like to waste food. That is actually enough left over for Jason and I to have with, I don't know, a pork or something this week. So, okay, so this would be my first one. Now, I will tell you this, the icing on the cake for this particular flavor for me would be some blue cheese crumbles on the top, and I thought I had some, but apparently it has been eaten. And again, blue cheese is low carb to no carb, depending on which one you get. So I'm just gonna get all that off the spoon there, and oh yum, licking my finger, rinsing it because I don't want to put it back in there. I will tell you this, needs a little bit of salt and pepper. I mean, you know, gotta get those flavors through there. One more little turn here. Salt and pepper. All right, so the cool thing about this is, very, very good. Okay, so there you have it. I don't know if you can see this very well. This is my first one. This is buffalo cauliflower deviled egg. Very, very good. Okay, so next one we're gonna go with is gonna be guacamole, which I know that you see recipes for this all over Pinterest and everything. What I wanted to do is show y'all, obviously I had a little brown spot, so I went ahead and cut that out, but I wanted to show y'all how to get the pit and how to remove avocado from the shell. Believe it or not, I'm a chef and I have people come to work for me all the time. They do not know how to do this. So basically you're just gonna take your knife and smack it, get that knife in it, and you're just gonna loosen it up and you're gonna pull the pit, okay? So I pulled the pit out, and then the next easiest thing to do is you just try to get any little brown woody parts out, and then just take your knife. Like if you were wanting to use this whole, you could scrape it out whole just like that. I am actually not going to be using it like that. I'm actually going to be scooping it out in chunks because I'm gonna mash it. So I'm adding that whole half of an avocado to this. Now, if you did want to scoop out your avocado whole, just so you know, you just get a spoon, you just run it around the perimeter of the inside of the avocado, and voila, you have a perfectly exited avocado fruit. Okay, so another thing that I'm gonna add to this is I have some leftover red onion, and remember I said we're kind of going guacamole deviled egg here. So I am going to, I like a lot of onion. So I'm going to chop this onion just a little bit finer because, as I mentioned, I've got some people who are a little bit more picky. And not only that, I just don't want big chunks messing up the look of the deviled egg on the inside. So I'm just chopping it a little bit finer. This is where your bigger knife gets. And okay, so that is pretty good, and I know that may look like a lot of onion, but it's gonna be absolutely delicious in there. Who doesn't love guacamole? I mean, it's amazing. Okay, another thing that I always have on hand in my house is cilantro. I mean, fresh chopped cilantro would be good on like a shoe. So I'm telling you, it's wonderful. Good stuff. I wish you could smell it right now. It smells so fresh. Okay, so that is probably, I don't know, about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I'm just loading that little tiny bowl up. I guess I could have used a little bit bigger of a bowl. Again, I am not wasting this. This is like gold. Take my hand off. Last thing I like to use is some lime. You cannot have guacamole without lime. We're gonna squeeze that in there, give it a little bit of a limey tang. And I know this baby's gonna need salt and pepper. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I'm gonna grab a fork for this one because I think I'm doing what I always tell my people, don't ever fill the bowl. But I think I can make this happen. So what I'm doing, my fork is just gonna kind of mush that guacamole or that avocado up even more. I'm gonna get all of that stirred together. And I'll be honest with you, if you wanted to put that whole avocado in here, it would not hurt my feelings. But I'm gonna save the rest of that avocado to eat with another one of my meals today. But that is lovely. Look how beautiful that is. God, it smells so good. A little bit more salt. Because, a little bit more salt never hurt anybody. Remember, the salt brings out the flavors. As long as you're not over salting things, and I always use the pink Himalayan sea salt. So, ooh, I got stuff all over the thing. Make sure I wipe that. I use the pink Himalayan sea salt because those have added nutrients, or not added nutrients, they are full of minerals that your body needs. So that's actually a huge plus. Oh my God. Okay, that's one of them slap your mamas. Okay, so look at that. Here we have guacamole, deviled eggs, okay? Ready to go. Last one I'm gonna do is just a simple one. And I'm actually gonna use my avocado as a garnish for that one. Let me wipe all this up. Okay, the last one is just simple in and of its own, just because sometimes I like simple. But this is one of my, this is a pantry item for me, chipotle salsa. I always, you can buy this in most grocery stores. It's in the Latino section. You can get them, sometimes it says, well, it is a little different, but you can get chipotle and adobo sauce, that type of thing. This is, and I'm just gonna, it's got a nice smoky, red, really rich flavor to it. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of this, add it to this. I'm also gonna do a little bit of green onion again in this one. This isn't hot, like I said, it was medium. I don't think they have, actually it doesn't say medium, it just says chipotle peppers. So I'm gonna put that in there, a little bit of green onion, tiny bit of cilantro, not a lot in this one. We're not trying to make it guacamole. Although both of those ingredients are completely like a southwestern feel. So I'm just gonna take this and mix all this up together. And this one is just super simple, but I'm just gonna take a little bit runnier than I meant it to be, but that's okay, no biggie, hey. All right, so it'll set up a little bit over here. All right, so I'll show y'all how I'm gonna, now this right here, this juice can be used for anything this week. I can use this as a marinade for cooking chicken. I can pour a little bit over deviled egg, I mean not deviled eggs, but if I just wanted to eat a boiled egg, or I can pour it on my fried eggs, scrambled eggs, like salsa. This stuff is like, I don't know, it's like gold in my house. I use it for everything. I put it in my chili. Anyway. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just put together a few of these and show you what they look like, just because I just thought that would be fun to do. We've got our eggs that we rinsed off and kind of dried over there. I've already divvied up the chipotle ones, and now I'm just going to, same thing for these. As I said, those were a little bit more runny, which they're perfectly fine. No issues there. So now I'm just gonna divvy up the guacamole one, and using the same spoon, so yes, I'm rinsing it off as I go. And now we have the cauliflower buffalo. So these are gonna be nice treats. Now what I love about this is that this doesn't have to be eaten, like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be eaten, you know, at a picnic or, you know, whatever. This can be in your refrigerator, ready to open up and crack up a crack open a delicious breakfast or just a quick snack. So I've got these all here, ready to go, and I'm just gonna do a little garnish on each one of these. I'm gonna do an avocado slice right there on the chipotle. Have something a little fresh. Since we have avocado on the other one, I'm not gonna use that, but I am going to just put a little splash of cilantro on the top of that. Because, you know, I like things that look pretty. And then on my cauliflower, I'm just gonna put a little bit of, if I had some celery today, I'd probably put some little chopped celery, because celery and buffalo go excellent together. And if I had some blue cheese, I'd be doing that together. So I am going to just go right over it one more time because I love the look of cracked salt and pepper. So you see it, it looks great. It is nice, and oh my gosh, my mouth is watering right now. And I will say this, it would never hurt to have a little wedge of lime, because one thing I've learned is that lime goes really great with eggs. I have lime on my eggs almost every single day. As you can see, these ideas were really quick. The cool thing is obviously I've still got more eggs over here. So, but probably gonna have leftover of my fillings. So the cool thing is these little fillings can be used as just a little dip with maybe some cucumbers cut up. You know, this can be substituted in place of like sitting down and eating a cream cheese dip or something like that that's a little bit more fatty. Whenever you taste these, you will be blown away. They taste amazing, and the only fat that's in them is the actual fat that came from the eggs. It's Greek yogurt as the base, and this is just a really healthy, great alternative for a low carb, and especially with all of you zingers. We need to have our healthy fats, and so we've added that in, especially with the avocado. I just moved things around a little bit, but I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes, and I'm just going to you want one of these? I'm just going to take a bite now. I think I'm going to have this one. Oh, I'm so excited about this, that fresh avocado. All right, cheers.
That one, the buffalo?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, top notch. Good stuff.
Your mama don't do devil eggs like this. Neither does your grandma. So, yeah, way to go. All right, ma'am. It's a take.